Peace, peace. What's going on? It's Kamar Sun back with another video talking about FL Mobile versus Zenbeats. In this modern day that we're in, 2022, at the time of this recording, the mobile producer has advanced. The tools are more readily available. Android has came a long way. And I just enjoy it. This is my main way of making music, is mobile. I'm on the go, and I'm off grid, so I can't power up a laptop as easy as I can charge up a phone or a tablet. So that's been my go-to, tablet, phone. And I had an old MacBook Pro in 2012, and a year before the pandemic, so around 2019, it finally died on me. So, I was used to using Logic, and I thought, man, since I don't have Logic, I'm stuck. I can't really make music like I want to, and that's just not the case. So I've been on Logic, I've been on Pro Tools, Reason, a little bit of Ableton, FL way back in the day when it was Fruity Loops. Sony, I don't know if y'all remember Sony Acid Pro. So I've been on quite a few DAWs, of course, GarageBand, but Logic was my main go-to. So I know what a good DAW can give you. I'm not judging by not using any other professional workstations. So with that being said, we're going to talk about Zenbeats and FL Mobile. Both apps work good. They work well. My personal choice, well, we'll talk about that. I'll break down the categories. So we're going to break down the recording quality. We're going to break down the user-friendly. We're going to break down the sounds out of the box. We're going to break down the sampling, compatibility, their app store. And let's see, we're going to deal with plugins and videos, training videos. So with me working both of them, I've been on Zenbeats now for about 3 months. I had FL Mobile for a while, for probably about a year, and I opened it up, looked at it, didn't like what I seen, and I just said, forget about it. Then I got on to Zenbeats. I like the workflow of Zenbeats. And something just told me to go back to FL Studio. So I went back to FL Studio Mobile, and I started unlocking the features. Started figuring out some stuff. Then I was like, okay, I can work with FL Studio. And next thing you know, FL Studio came out with an update. And it was a big update too. Definitely with the slicer function. So they have a very easy way to sample. So with FL Studio, so as we break down the categories of record quality, let's just start there. Let's go audio record. Now, when it comes to record quality, I have to give this one to FL Studio. FL Studio wins because of a couple features when it comes to recording. And one is this option here called Picture. Picture gives it like an auto-tune kind of effect. And this is what the app looks like as you run it through the different vocal pitches. You see the different scales over here, like the different, recording the different degrees in the scale. And you know, it's important to kind of have that auto tune function in today's time. I think like every DAW should put that on there, because I mean, especially when you're dealing with hip hop now. Hip hop is turning into a more melodic, more singing type of genre, and pitch corrector helps those that, you know, may need some help. So record quality, I would have to give it up, like I said, to FL Studio. Zenbeats is good quality. You'll get the job done, but I wish it had that feature of, you know, a plug-in, auto tune. Now, when it comes to user friendly, I'm gonna have to personally go with Zenbeats. Zenbeats to me is just easier to use. This is what Zenbeats looks like when you open it up, and this is the loop builder mode. They have loop builder mode, and if you see down here, you see A, B, C, D, E. That can be parts of your beat. So you can do the intro, A, verse, B, hook, C, verse 2, D, and you can organize and structure your beats easier than with FL Studio. FL Studio, it works. The timeline mode could be just, they could do a little bit better, especially something as simple as like copy and paste. See, if I import, let me select the instrument. Let's go with sample verse. Now let's go with ZC1. Let me just pick a random piano verse. All right, so I'm going to import. I'm going to import a chord progression. Okay, this is the area where you can actually see. See, this is the piano roll with no editing. You can select all, and you can pitch down. Over here in this corner here under loop, you'll see the start, the length. So you can move notes. You can move the length of the notes, the velocity. You can pitch down, -12. You can pitch up 12, or a full octave. If you want to do a send to bust out your tracks, you have that feature. FL doesn't give you that. You have your audio effects and plugins, which is a good list. It's a good list. FL has a little bit more for plugins. Got your fader. You got your button where you can add a drum track, instrument track, audio, send, group tracks, track template, part. So you can add another part to it. Group tracks is when you can link up certain sounds together in a group, but they won't play over each other. Actually, that's something that I haven't gotten into yet, group tracks. Your send tracks, so now you can bust out your tracks. Audio for recording vocals and bringing in audio, your own sounds. So when it comes to sampling, I'm gonna have to give sampling, honestly, FL Studio wins the sampling, because when you hit slicer, You go to FL Studio, you hit slicer, my files, my samples. I'm gonna use some built-in sounds. And as you can see, when you drag in your sound, slicer just automatically slices it up for you, and you can slice it up or down if you want more slices to the beat. You can slice it up, down, do all kind of different effects to the sound, pitch it up, pitch it down. Zenbeats doesn't have that exact Zenbeats sampler. It works fine. It just works differently, you know. The sampler is in the drum. The new drum. It's in the drum track. So you gotta load a sound. So let's see. So you load in a sound. So you load in a sound, and it pops up here into the drum editor, and then you have like a slice button. You can slice count how many times, 4, 8, 16, 32, or 64 slices. Let's just do the 4 slices. Now you can manually, okay, what just happened? You can manually, you know, slice it down. See, you can slice it down manually if you wanted to. So, and then it doesn't auto, it slices, and then you have to one by one duplicate the track into your drum sample like that. So now, sounds out of the box, I'm gonna have to go with Zenbeats all day, because just the ZC1, let's go back to that. Just this ZC1 alone is packed with sounds. Packed with sounds. Way more sounds than what FL gives you. Now don't get me wrong, FL has some good instruments to get you started. But ZC1 with rolling with Zenbeats, the sound good too. They have pianos that sound like pianos, guitars that sound like guitars. Now they got a lot of digital sounds, and that's just the nature of these DAWs. It seemed to me like they're catered towards dance music and not hip hop. Because the loops that ZC1 has for dance music is popping. But for hip hop, not so much. They're getting better. Let's put it that way. So the compatibility, I was going to give it the Zenbeats, but this one could be a tie, because FL Mobile works on all platforms, and except, well, what they do have is a plug-in that you can connect to your desktop version. So a beat you're working on FL Mobile, you can open it up on your desktop and finish it on the desktop version. Zenbeats is the same across all of the platforms. It's the same program. The benefits of being on the desktop and iOS is the plugins, the third-party plugins.